Good day, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Intimate Conversations with Issa Favored, where we get to talk about life, we empower, we educate, and all. And you know that we live in a very fast-paced life, ne? We live in a life where, I don't know what has happened to life, but life is hectic. Now, the way it is so hectic, you also get to realize that it's so easy to get sick if you don't take care of yourself. So it is important that in the busyness of life, we build time for some physical activity. Because if we don't do that, sickness will crawl in and we will be a very sick generation. But, and when you exercise, there's actually so many benefits. So today, Mina, I like calling people who are experts in the field. You know that I do that most because I don't know it all. So I get people who will come and talk to us. So today I have with me Uwinile Mutswane. Hey, the surname, I hope I got it correctly. She's based in Limpopo, Lipalele. She holds a BSc in sports science degree, an honors in biokinetics, masters in sports and exercise medicine, and she is a PhD candidate. So very soon she'll be on the red gown and we'll be calling her doctor. Looking forward to that. Girl power, women with red gowns adlalwa, busy emzansi. She's a former international director in the Biokinetics Association of South Africa, and currently in the very same association, she is the public director, and she has a biokinetics private practice. Now, I know that when the other time we were attending a conference and they were like, who has ever been to a biokinetics? In that room, I think there was only 2 of us. And the room had more than 50 people because Tinabo Daki, Nabo Biokinetics, even though we are transformed, certain things we still like. So you're probably wondering what's a biokinetics, ne? If you've never heard of it. She's going to tell us. Winile, welcome, Sisi. Thank you for agreeing to be a guest on my show.
Hi, so thank you so much for having me. I'm very honored.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I saw you and I was like, this one, she must be a guest. There's no way I must get her contact so that she comes and be a guest. So I must actually tell you a story about her. So in the conference that we're attending, this speaker says she wanted to show something about posture and how posture. Was it you who made the posture example, or was it you who was called? You made an example, hey, and she made an example, on how posture affects us. I'm sure she'll touch on that also. And this other one they tried to say, just walk like you are. This one lady was like, I am not. She's trying to get a point across. This lady is like, when we try, try and walk like you are. She could not. She ended up having to call somebody else. But then tell us, biokinetics, of all the fields that are there, of all the fields, you decided I am gonna do biokinetics. That's where I'm gonna specialize, knowing very well that about Daiki don't visit you a lot. It's a very rare. What made you? One, you're gonna tell us what is it, and what made you take that field, which is so rare in the Black community.
Okay, so biokinetics basically is a health profession where back then you had to first do your sports science or your human movement science degree, and then do a year of biokinetics as an honors, plus a year of internship to qualify as a biokineticist. And then we register with HPCSA, which is our regulator, like all the other doctors or healthcare workers. So what we do as biokineticists, we treat just about any condition using exercise.
Okay. Any.
And you could have diabetes, you could have mental illnesses, you could have any musculoskeletal condition where your back hurts, and then we treat you using exercise.
Okay.
So The same way you go to a doctor and they prescribe you medicine. So we prescribe exercise as medicine because we truly believe that the body was meant to move. So if there's lack of movement, that is when the problems start. So if we fix the part of moving, you moving, because the how part is also important. Like you were saying, I made an example about how people walk. It's all those things, how you sit. Don't worry, I'm not checking your posture right now.
No, no, let me make you thinking, girl, sit up straight.
Yes. So that's what basically biokinetics is. So the bio is the body part. Biokinetics is movement. So we even use this as our slogan, biokinetics life through movement.
Movement.
So you
Okay.
restore one's movement. One of the things that are underrated is one's ability to move until you can't. Then you realize how much moving is, how important it is.
You know, as you were sorry, just to come in, as you are talking, you'll continue. Sorry, Winile. I'm actually thinking that you basically are saying movement is life. Without movement, there's a bit of a problem if you are not moving the way you're supposed to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you think of a situation where you have pain anyway, what's the first thing that is affected is how you move.
Yes.
I can literally look at somebody from a distance and see how they are walking, and I can tell something is wrong in the ankle or knee or back strictly from how they are moving.
Okay. Okay.
The same way I would say, when you're a mechanic and you hear a car from a distance and you can tell something is wrong with the engine.
That sound is not right.
Exactly. So
Okay.
in my way, because then your brain has a way of telling you, don't do this movement. So what do? You find another alternative.
Alternative.
So that's why you find a person limping and you're like, but why are you limping? Like, oh, I used to have this. Is it still painful? No, it's not painful anymore. But in the brain, it's still not fixed because you haven't done the work to say, listen, it's okay to use this part now. That's where that becomes part of our work to correct and to do some neuro work on you and say, listen, brain, we need that part. It's actually okay to use it. So back to your question
Interesting. Yes.
of why biokinetics.
Yes.
I grew up in the villages. I am a village girl in Hluhluwe. I think yes, in KZN.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Yes. That's
Okay.
where I grew up.
Okay.
So I grew up in Hluhluwe, and like any other young girl, I think I was ambitious enough to say I want to be a doctor when I grow up. But because that's all there is in the
Yes.
medical field,
Yes.
that's what we
Yes.
thought there is. And then you learn, and then you actually start realizing there's a lot more than just being a doctor that you can do. It's still in the medical field or in the health sector.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when I got to university, and I want to do biokinetics, but first, to do biokinetics, I had to do sports science. And try having to explain that to Black parents
Hello.
that you
Hello.
are going to university to study how to play.
Like,
Yazi le ngane iganga ngathi.
Uzomosha imali. Yes, uzosimoshela imali. Like, how are you going to university and going to learn how to study sports science of all things?
yes,
So you
of all
you know
things.
of all things. But when God has a bigger plan for you,
Of course.
and my parents were very supportive of my
Okay.
decisions. So when I explain to them that this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm choosing to do it, they say, okay, as long as you are sure, you could have been a teacher though, and you will get a job. And I said, but
You will
I will
get a
not.
job.
That's the
Yes.
whole point. That
Yeah.
afterwards you must have a job.
Yeah.
But now the problem was having to convince them that actually I need an extra year um, to study to get to where I want to
To
and to
go.
explain and for everything. But the important thing for me always been interested in how the body operates.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
always been interested in so many ways. I needed to know if you do this with your body, what is happening. But at the time, I didn't know like how to put it into perspective to say this is
Yes.
actually
Yeah.
what I want to understand. So when
Uh-huh.
I got to learn more about biokinetics and realizing that you are literally helping the person fix themselves. You fix something that is seemingly not okay in the body. You have empowered that person. You teach them how to treat themselves. You have empowered them for life.
For
If you have
life.
for life. So
Yeah.
if you have back problems and you come to me, I will do more than just treating you. I will also educate you about how we got where we are. Because when you understand the reasons or the risks and the causes of where you are, you can, one, in future make sure it doesn't happen again.
Happen again.
Two,
Yes.
as biokineticists, we also equip you with how do you fix this when you are away from me.
Okay.
So we teach you, these are your exercises. Yes, you have chronic back pain. Let's work what's causing it from the word go. How is it the muscle imbalance? Is it weak muscles? Is it your muscles are too stiff? So we do the assessment. So as opposed to treating your symptoms,
The back.
then we treat
Yes.
the cause.
Let's deal with the cause. What led it
We
to be here?
Yes. So if your cause is because of your posture, then let's fix your posture. But for
Yeah.
your posture to be the way it is probably because you lack core strength. So let's work on your core strength for you not to struggle. So then we give you those exercises, mostly as exercises you can do anywhere you are.
Okay.
So now there you are waking up and you have this discomfort that has been gone for a long time because you overworked yourself, right?
Yeah.
Now, because I have equipped you as a biokineticist, you will get home or wherever, you do your stretches, you reteach your muscles, and you are good to go.
You're good.
It is not a train smash. You didn't have to go to ER and say, I need help right now. We equip you as a patient to say, okay, this, we're helping you so it doesn't come back. But if it does, you know what to do.
You know what to do. And I think generally, as human beings, we it's easier to pop a pill than to do the work that is required. So I've got a pain, let me pop a pill so that the pill can silence and numb the pain. But in actual fact, if you were to do a bit of work, then the pain, because you're dealing with the source, it will be gone for a long time. You must actually give me it. I know that more especially when I drive long distances, when I stop, if I've been sitting in the car for a good 2 3 hours and then I stop, oh my goodness, when I get out of the car my body is so stiff I wanna cry.
You think you are 93 years old already, like, oh, what is happening? Yes. So now think of somebody who does the work as a driver all day, every day. It's what
Yeah.
they do for a living. So in
Mm.
cases like that, whether you are a driver on the road or you are a machine operator and for hours you are in that position. So what do? We look at the work that you do. We look at how it affects your everyday movement and everyday life.
Yes.
And then you're gonna need to have a little bit more stronger core to sit in that position for that long, but also you have to really work extra hard at loosening your muscles. So
Okay.
stretching for you and strengthening and being able to stay in that position without a strain is very important. So
Okay.
understanding the everyday work of a person plays a
Mm-hmm.
huge role, because the way we individualize prescription, what you do and what I do, even if we have the same condition, it will
It's
not be the same.
different.
Yes, yes. So this thing that you know how sometimes you do like, so I have this problem and I went to see a biokinetic, and then this is what they, and a friend says, I also have the same. I think I must do that doesn't work. You need to go and
Yes, it doesn't work because you wouldn't take your mother's blood pressure medication.
You
It is the
wouldn't.
same thing. So we treat exercise the same way we treat medicine. It's a
Yes.
case by case. We look at
Uh-huh.
you, what do you need, what needs to be fixed, because we can both be diabetic and needing to lose weight probably,
Mm-hmm.
but you probably have problem with your knees. And
Mm-hmm.
then you think if you take my exercises, then now you cause more musculoskeletal issues.
To the
So
knees. Yes.
yes, exercise is medicine, basically. If you
It
look at it
is.
that way, then you will understand why you need your own assessment and your own prescription of the exercises that you as an individual need.
that being said, also though, we are not, it will not substitute the need to take medication, right? You will still take medication, but you will need to see so that you, what is the word I'm looking for? You complement the medicine that you're taking with physical exercise. Am I correct?
Yes. So let's say I'm making example with diabetes.
Yeah.
You are already diabetic and you are on your medication.
Mm-hmm.
You still
Mm-hmm.
have to continue. You still have to continue with your medication. So
Yes.
you using exercise to support your body, because with diabetes, there is a
Mm-hmm.
lot more that comes after. You find people with vision issues. You find
Yes.
um, all these other things with wounds that don't heal. There is a
Heal
lot that keeps piling up.
up.
So
Yes.
you continue with your medication. If you
Mm-hmm.
are lucky enough, and I've seen a few of these cases in my practice as well, if you
Okay.
are lucky enough, when your doctor sees that you are really that close to being diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
then your doctor decides, well, I'm sending you right away to a biokineticist. So it can be a biokineticist and a dietitian. So we work
Mm-hmm.
together, or if it's just
Okay.
a biokineticist, we'll still work on how you should eat.
Okay.
If you are lucky enough and the doctor puts you on the medication, your system sometimes kicks in because of the exercising, and then the doctor takes you off the medication.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then you don't. Yes, I've had cases like that. But for some people who've been on medication for a very long time, it
Mm-hmm.
it's unlikely. But if um abagini banawe, because then you continue taking medication, and then now it reacts. You react to it because
Mm-hmm.
your body has somehow find ways to restore what was not functioning
What was
properly.
not? Yes.
So you
Yes.
go to the doctor and they check you. They say, no, but you seem your sugar level is kind of normalizing.
Stabilized. It's stabilized now.
Yes. So then they
Yes.
pull you off, maybe say maybe just keep one pill and then you get off eventually.
Yeah, where they say now, yeah, sorry, instead of coming once every month, then you're coming once a quarter, just to monitor and all that and all that.
Yes, yes. So it again, if you are already on chronic medication, we will never tell patients to stop taking their medication.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
work with doctors. What we try to do is to help your body. Also, remember with all these pills we keep popping, where
Mm-hmm.
do they go eventually? Your liver needs
Well,
to do the work. Your kidneys
yes,
need to do the work. And at the end of the
yes.
day, then now you need dialysis. So it keeps, so we try to get your body to be as functional as possible without medication, if possible.
Okay. All right. Now, you've made an example so that it could be a person who's diabetic, who's got hypertension. You will prescribe after an assessment, you will then prescribe exercise that are relevant to that particular person and the condition that they are having. The benefits then, how do we then link that? Because of course, they say when you exercise, it also releases, what is this? Endorphins. Is it endorphins, the happy hormones?
Yes, and your serotonin, all the feel good
Yeah, feel
hormones.
good, and
Yes.
it's
Then you are, so would you also, for somebody who's suffering from depression and all that, would they also come see a biokinetic so that it then helps on their mental health?
Yes. So how your body functions, it's just that sometimes we want to separate it. At the end of the day, you are one. Okay. Your mental part, your physical part, it always comes down to working together. So
yes.
normally when something is not right physically, let's say you constantly have pain, at some point it will affect you mentally
Of
because
course, yes.
yes, and then eventually affect you socially because you don't want to be around people when you are in pain. And
Yes,
that comes back to a whole definition of wellness,
yes.
which is, yes, which is a complete, a completeness of you being okay physically, mentally, and socially, because we are meant to socialize. That is just
Yes.
part of life.
Uh-huh,
So now
uh-huh.
think of it with this constant pain on your body, and now you can't do certain things. You can't, you worry about your work, you worry about the relationship that you are having, you worry about
Mm.
having more pain. When you have pain and then you worry about having more pain, and
Yes.
the brain keep perceiving the pain that you have as more than what it is.
Yeah.
The minute you are in that pain or you have that pain, you go to a point where the brain just says, if you dare do this, huh, it's going to be
Yes.
painful.
It's gonna be
So you
painful.
don't move.
Yeah.
Then you stop
Yeah.
moving, right? And then,
Uh-huh.
but then it
Uh-huh.
gets worse.
Yeah.
Then it gets
Because you're not
worse.
moving. Then
It becomes an ongoing circle. You don't move,
yes.
you
Yes.
get more pain. And then you get more pain from not moving.
Moving.
Apart from the actual cause of your problem, the lack of
Yeah.
movement adds.
To
Now
other
it's that,
pains.
then it goes back to your brain telling you, don't move, it's gonna hurt. So you don't move. So then you become extremely anxious about the pain that's coming
Mm.
before you even do
Mm.
something, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now let's look at somebody who has depression.
Okay.
So now you have your depression, and because sometimes we pretend we are okay, but the body will remind you.
It
The
does.
body will show, it will tell you, you will feel tension on your shoulders. We will
Mm-hmm.
see from how you are walking and all that
Mm-hmm.
posture, and how this person is carrying the whole world with them.
On their shoulders. Yes.
Now it goes to, you just have constant body aches. And the problem is actually mentally, but now it is manifesting physically.
Physically.
You get bloated. You can be bloated from having depression, because
Really?
yes, you can, and you can be nauseous. Just the
Hmm.
thought of doing something, you become so anxious that you even feel like you want to throw up. So those are
Hmm.
some of the signs that then you need to look out for when you like, I'm fine. Are you?
Are you?
Because then with being bloated, remember, now affecting your posture, you're hanging, and the minute you do this, it affects your digestive system.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm,
Uh-huh.
simply because of this. Now we work on you physically, and when we work on you physically for your mental issues, we remind the body to release those feel good hormones. After a hard
Mm-hmm.
workout, you definitely feel like you conquered the world. Even
Mm-hmm.
if it was a 3 minute workout, if it stimulated something.
It feels good. I always say that exercise is good pain because the aches and because it will cause you aches and pains, but it also feels good. Like I always am like, oh, this is a good kind of pain, that.
Yes. So it stimulates you in a beautiful way that it's not taking away your problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is definitely helping you to think better. Remember, it helps you become, gain that level of calmness, and you focus better. Then you can sit and think, I have this problem. How do I deal with it in a calmer?
Mm.
Just think about it when you're really angry and you decide, I'm going to take a walk. Because if I say something now, I'm
I
going to
might
regret
regret
it.
it. I might just
Um,
regret it.
so now you go and take a walk. And at that time you're thinking, I'm really just taking, you actually working and you're stimulating those things that calm you and then
Mm-hmm.
put you in a better mood,
Mood.
and you calm and then you think better so you can choose your words better. So now
Better.
think of somebody who never gets to stimulate this in them, how they deal with everyday issues, and they
Issues.
constantly look mad. They look angry at
Yes. Yes.
everybody. And
Mm.
you drag that person to a gym or to a biokineticist, and you just say, listen, let's do this. You will see a change. People who start exercising, they have a certain glow about them, a
It
certain
does.
glow
It
that cannot
does.
be taken away.
I know exactly what you mean. What I love what you're saying, that when you take a walk out, when you are, because sometimes people then tend to think that exercise means, oh, intense, intense, intense. A short walk in the block will do, it does you a whole lot of good, a whole lot of good.
Absolutely. And because we are trained in
Mm-hmm.
exercise, we are
Mm-hmm.
exercise specialists.
Yes.
When you come and you say, I'm 50, I've never exercised in my life,
Mm-hmm.
there is no way I'm making you do all the things that the gym people get up to on Instagram. And then the mistake is mostly that people will see this and like, oh, I'm definitely going this because I want the body. But you don't know how
Yes.
the person got the body, how long they've had the body. And you
Yes.
just, it's a copy
Uh-huh.
and paste and it does not
Yes.
work. So,
Yes.
and then that's the whole point of assessing, for
Mm-hmm.
me
Mm-hmm.
to also know, where do we start? It could
Where?
literally just start with you doing this because you've been having a lot of pain, you're scared to move. So I'll work on you through your mind and literally reminding you it's okay to tan. Something as small as that, just tan. Because there are people who sit just like this, they're scared that if they have to tan, it's going to hurt. It's
Mm-hmm.
real. So you work from where the person is. Say, let's just take a 400-meter walk. You did amazingly today. And we're going to
Today.
keep, yes, you did well. You
And I
moved.
can actually imagine when you make the example of just turning, that for the person, because they were scared, when they see that I can actually do it and it does not hurt. And then tomorrow they turn a little bit more and more. Baby steps, baby steps.
It is so we teach you to trust your body,
Okay.
because you lose trust, your brain loses trust in your body. That's why you stop moving. Also, if you don't understand how the body functions, you
Mm-hmm.
think you're going to break. Most of my back patients, they always think they are that fragile, that if
Okay.
they if if they just do this, everything is gonna crumble. And it's what the brain makes you believe, that you already know how the pain feels like. So you don't want that. So
Yes.
then you constantly feel, if I just turn, I'm telling you, my spine is gonna crack on me.
And then I'll end up in a wheelchair, and it creates this big out. Oh my goodness. But you know,
Sorry, we work on then on the patients from a point of learn to trust yourself. And few sessions later, it's such a beautiful thing when they walk confidently, because they know they're not breaking anytime soon. So it's
Yes.
the power we gave them. And Ahmed, listen, you don't understand that time when a person comes in depressed. I keep boxes of tissue in my practice,
Okay.
and I get to a point of understanding and where they're coming from.
Uh-huh.
A position where, as a mom, you have children, you have a husband, or as a woman, say to say, you have a partner, whether you married, you have a partner, you are expected to have sex with this person. Do you
Yes.
think sex is one thing in your mind at that time?
Definitely not.
But when you sit and realize that you are now unable to perform your duties as a partner, what does it do to you mentally?
it kills you. It kills you.
At the same time, you just can't, because the thought you the thought of doing it hurts.
Yeah, yes, that's why I'm saying that, because you this is what you are so down, you are so everything mentally, you are you have no, you're thinking, that is the last thing on my mind. I am so no. And at the end of the day, then you end up probably losing out on a good relationship, because you, not because yeah, because it is the reality of life. It might end up affecting that, and you end up losing a good relationship.
Yes, yes. So you see how everything just is connected.
Yes.
And and now then you're staying with your pain, your physical pain, and then you are losing out socially, that relationship, and mentally, you constantly, your body keeps telling you, don't move, it's gonna hurt. Don't even think about sex. You cannot be in the position to do those
That
things. It's gonna hurt
they
even more. So
yes.
so
Yeah.
now, when a person finds themselves again, oh, it's a beautiful process. It's
Yes.
one of the reasons that I get excited about my job.
Yes.
It doesn't even feel like a job, because I'm like, oh my God. And and it gets very emotional when they have to say, I cannot believe this is me.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. That when I look at you, I look at your excitement, and I'm like, oh, this one, she can actually see her patients. She's seeing them,
I
and
can. I can, because
You.
I like, a few people already they pop in mind, because
Yeah.
you've seen their journey, and you always go back
Mm.
to that one day, that consultation,
Yeah.
where they had given up on, just like, what, and mostly we are the last resort. I don't even know why. People
When you
will
should be
tell
the
you,
first.
we should be. I've gone to these ones, and this one I'm not going to mention, but nothing is working. And we say, it's
Mm.
okay. You have nothing to lose. So let's see how we're going to do this. I'm going to be with you. But again, the first thing for me, make a patient understand. Treat them as if when you're teaching a grade one,
Yes.
without
Yes.
making a person look stupid, but making
Yes.
sure that they actually a big part of their own journey.
Check.
You do
Because when
not
they own
make
it, yes, let them
Yes,
own
yes.
it.
You do not make it about you and the knowledge you have and how great you are. You make it about them. First, let's understand, how well do you understand your condition? And then you hear it from their words, you correct what the misinformation that is there, and
Yes.
then you explain. And now we have pictures. Google is an amazing thing when it's used correctly. So you
Yes.
say, this is how your back looks like, and this is where your problem is. And because your problem is here, it has damage also 1, 2, 3. It affects these parts of you. So that's why you have these pains. So what we're going to try and do is work on this, because if we fix this, it's going to help there.
This and
So when
that.
they have the expectations, and the expectations are real.
Yeah.
And you make it clear that it is not a quick fix. It is
Now,
not, Mhm.
continue.
I'm not going to have one session with you today and tomorrow you are fixed. That has to be clear, so you don't commit to a patient and lie and promise them the world that you can't give. And then they don't trust the work you are doing. If they can't trust you, you've lost them.
You've lost them totally. I wanted to come to that, to the question, to say, how often then will somebody come and see you? How often does it become a lifelong relationship, or it's a
So it depends on a condition. So you have people who have chronic conditions that it's most likely going to be there for a long time.
Okay.
But even with that, remember, my job is to guide you, show you that you are capable, give you the tools for you to use, so you gain your independence as a person.
Yes.
So you don't rely on another person forever. So your tools. So once, let's say, normally I would say to a patient, let's give it 3 months. Again, depending on your condition. And if in the first 6 weeks we see no progress, it's getting worse, I am not going to keep you unnecessarily just because it is business. So I'm going to be clear with you in saying, this doesn't seem, I don't think what we thought is actually that. So I'm sending you to another practitioner who might have a better solution. Because as much as for me, when a patient tells me, I've been consulting about the same problem for 4 years, and it's getting worse and you keep going, it is my responsibility as a practitioner to see that this is not working, and be honest with the patient and say, I think we need a different approach, or I need to send you to someone
To
else.
somebody
But
else.
now the problem is, we, as just as people in general, we trust our practitioners, our doctors, and we trust they have our best interest at
Is
heart.
it hard?
But
Yes.
sometimes it is also a bit, you see. And when you start pushing the business more than the patient,
The
then
interest of the
then there is
patient.
a problem. Now there
Yes.
is a problem.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Now you were talking about, if in the 6 weeks you do not see, in that 6 weeks, will a person be coming through to you once a week, or how often?
So these cases differ. Again, depends on what is wrong with the person. Two, a big element, can they afford the sessions?
Does medical aid cover? Do you take medical aid?
Yes. Yes, we do. We do take medical aid, but at some point it's exhausted, and because, like I said, people come after they've been to many others, and
Yes.
so we normally, what I recommend to my patient is that let's see if you can maybe come twice a week, for accountability as well. And then especially the first few weeks, just to be sure that you are doing things correctly.
Yes.
And then when you, then as they say, we take a videos of what you are doing, so that when you're home, you have a point of reference, and you can do these things when you're home as well.
Okay.
And then we see if this is working. But others are staying so far. So on that one session, you try to do as much as you can, and you give them work to do at home. And maybe you see them once a week, some even once every 2 weeks. You really just learn to trust them, and you work with what you have.
And you also want to believe that they will do the work required, you know, they will do the work that is required for them to get better, you know, because like I said, you know, human nature, anything that requires you to work on it, you
You'd
know,
rather lie down and get a massage than exercise.
an hour there of nice music and da 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 da, you know, and then you feel good for a short while. Afterwards, the aches and the pains are back.
Yes, yes, you know. So again, it comes back to us wanting to equip you and give you, you know, the words we use a lot is the better quality of life.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
that's what we want for you, to have a
So
better
true,
quality.
hey? So true,
It's
so
one
true.
thing to have the life, but how is the quality of your life? So that's what we do. The biggest one, to improve one's quality of life. And is your quality good when you are in pain?
Definitely not. I mean, who wants a life of pain? Who wants a life of pain? No one does. No one does.
Absolutely not. So if your quality of life is there, then we're meeting the wellness definition. Because mentally, physically, you are there. You're
Everything
showing
is
up.
balanced. You know that balance that you need,
Yes, yes.
where everything is just on the
In place.
above, you know, on the 80 zones, physically, mentally. You know. I don't know whether
Yes.
I'm ambitious on the 80 zone, but yeah, you just want that kind of a balance that a person can safely say the quality of my life is quite good. And the more you age, that's when you need a better quality of life, even better than when you were younger.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's an investment to yourself. When
Yeah.
you work out now, the body looks after you later.
It does, eh? And to anyone, it doesn't matter. I think also the message that we want to send out across is that it doesn't matter what age you are at. It is never too late to start.
Also, we're all going to age. You know, we're all going to be older at some point. But aging and pain and discomfort shouldn't always be together. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
So when you invest in yourself and you work out and you look after yourself, like I said, it looks after you later. So you are in a better position. You're in a much better position to look after yourself. I
Yeah.
see some people in their 80s. I think currently my oldest patient is 79.
Oh wow. Look,
She shows
uh-huh.
she shows up twice a week, every week, just for maintenance. She has no pain. She just doesn't want to do it without me. You
Oh
know that by
wow.
her own choices, she shows up.
She
And
shows
if she's
up.
away, when she's away, she says, "I miss you a lot. My body needs you," you know. And she
That is so
springs like
sweet.
that. She
That is so
springs like that.
sweet.
Yes, my aunt Umamkulu wami, she's turning 82 this year. She swears by, she's like, every day when I wake up, I stretch, you know, and I see with her that, you know, these days even lifting her hands is a bit difficult, but she does it. She says, yo, uma ngingastrechanga umzimba wami uba buhlungu kanjani. So she understands. So I look at her, I always say, I'm like, you wena ma, you are growing up goals, because, you know, at that age, as I said, she's 81 turning 82 in December, but she keeps on saying, I have to do a bit of stretches, so that she says, if I don't do that, then my body aches even more.
The thing with getting older, your body starts working against you.
It does.
Yes. So you will realize that before you could eat a whole burger and you work it off, and festive season comes, you do your thing, and end of January, you're back to where you were. Now you literally smell the burger. You just smell it. and you've gained 5 kgs. Like,
Yes,
your body
yes.
works against you. You lose a lot more elasticity in your muscles. So naturally you just become stiffer. That's why you have to then stretch more often.
More
So, but
often.
with your aunt feeling stiff, it's just what it is. And at that age, she's not doing a lot. She
Yes.
sits a lot. So everything is just timed, and there's not a lot of activities in her life anymore. So it's a cry for help from the body when it feels painful to say we need to move. And I'm so
We need
glad
to
she
move.
does.
No, she does. We always have to remind her that our say on spring chicken, stop, slow down. But she's a very active person. She cleans. I'm like, slow down. Can you sit down a bit? She's like, you don't understand. I can't just sit.
I need to be. I
She's a
need to
model
do something.
citizen.
She is. No, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winnie Lemete, I think for me, I think we've come to the end. Is there anything else that you would have wanted us to touch that we may not have spoken about that our viewers, as they watch, they need to take note of?
You know what I can just say is one is never too late.
Never too late. Yeah.
It is never too late. It doesn't matter the age. It doesn't matter how much weight you've gained in the past, whatever month. You don't start, the situation gets worse.
It gets
So yes, and start where you are. Don't try to work from who you used to be.
Yes.
Start where you are at that time and understanding the changes that have gone and happened to you. Start as little as possible so that you enjoy it.
Yes.
Yes, in the process, you need to enjoy it. Otherwise, you will do it once and then you're never doing it again.
Never do it again. Yes, yes.
And do it from a place of love. If you do it from a place of love, you will enjoy yourself. Even with muscle soreness from the time that you haven't been exercising, you will love it. Sometimes I miss that. I'm like, I feel like I need a harder workout because I miss the muscle soreness. Yes, because it's like I can tell I worked and I felt good, so I need to push myself.
Yes, yes, yes.
But you do not have to work to a point of pain. You do not have to push yourself. Be kind to your body. Love it from where it is. Because one thing for sure, you can never show up anywhere without your body. You can never show up anywhere. It is impossible without your body.
Yes.
So love what you have. Work on what you have for what you want. So there's a saying, we do what we have to do in order to do what we want to do. So that 30 minutes, that 15 minutes of working out is what you have to do for you to live a better life with a better quality.
Of course, most
It's
definitely.
A fair trade. It is a fair trade.
Yes, you gotta give something to get something out.
Yes, and we ask really is that even if it's just 15 minutes, you did something. And then
it starts with 15 and then 20 and then 25 and then.
The next thing is nawe kuma-comrades marathon. Hey. Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
That one I agree with you. That one I definitely agree with you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a guest. Thank you. I believe that viewers at home, you are empowered. You have a little bit more knowledge. If you are working, you've got medical aid, go and visit a biokineticist. It will help you. It will be for your own good. I know that with my medical aid, you get 2 sessions per annum to go for your assessment, and then they can work out a plan for you. So go. It's a good investment on yourself. You know how sometimes we believe, people will say, once a month I must take myself out and go and eat out. Take that money and just invest it on on seeing a professional and let them help you so that you have a proper meaningful life. We are about, maybe it's because of the age that I'm at without telling you my age, but I'm more about the quality of life that you have. I'm so focused on that to say, let's make life meaningful. Let's make life a quality life that you look at it and you're like, life is good because of the investments that you have done on yourself. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your soul. Take care of your emotions. Take care of your body. I love what you said. I am so taking that you cannot show up anywhere without your body. That is power, girl. You need this body to show up. Without it, there's nothing. You can't show up. I mean, you may want to, but if the body says, I'm not going, you cannot go. So you don't want to do that. So let's just make sure that we take care of ourselves. Mental health is very critical. Physical health is very critical. And just mind, body, and soul, let it all be taken care of. Until next time, do take care. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and tell everyone else that this is the channel to subscribe to. Do take care. See you next time.
Preview.